But little did we know, when we exchanged contracts for the land, the stone walls, the barns and the houses, the deal also included this overgrown gremlin who grumbled at every change we made. Every morning at 7 o'clock sharp, I would look out across the fields, and there Ronald would be, wending his way to me through rain, fog and more rain. The first job of the day for him was to feed the hens and collect their eggs. In the field behind the house was what looked like a miniature railway truck on wheels. This was the hen house, or cree as it was known in Yorkshire. Inside were our hens' nesting boxes and their nightly roosts. Ronald would open the door so that the 12-strong brood could run freely for the day, and his last job of the day was to shut our poultry away safely in the cree. This was a responsibility he took very seriously. One morning, a year and a half into this routine, I had almost finished milking when he arrived in the byre, his ruddy face redder than normal and his large eye roomier than ever. "Away, touse for gun," he growled, and then promptly disappeared like some magical creature from the forbidden forest. It took quite a few moments for the news to sink in that Ronald, who squinted because of his poor eyesight and had hands that shook with the onset of Parkinson's disease, was going home to get a gun. As quickly as I could, I stopped what I was doing and went outside to see Ronald disappearing into the mist. After an anxious wait, he re-emerged, presenting the most forbidding sight. You know, at the beginning of the film Gremlins, the creatures are cute and cuddly, but halfway through they turn into nightmarish ghouls. Well, imagine one of these ghouls armed with a shotgun, and you will have a good idea of what was emerging from the abyss. I called to him to find out what on earth he was up to and why he needed a double-barreled shotgun. He didn't reply. He cut across in front of me, bulldozing his way to the hen cree, shotgun held at hip height like John Wayne entering a saloon full of bad guys. He jerked open the door, and because the door opened towards him and the entrance ramp was behind him, he lost his footing and started to tumble backwards. One barrel of the gun exploded into the early morning silence, punching a hole up through the felt-covered roof and sending chunks of timber and bitumen into the air like a spume of ash from a volcano. The thought of the madman who lose control and murder whole communities flashed across my mind as Ronald continued his inevitable backward trajectory, propelled by the recoil of the shotgun. Suddenly, from the henhouse door, a red blur emerged. Seeing its way blocked by a gun-toting gremlin, it launched itself into the air as if it was red rum at Beech's Brook. I had just focused enough to see it was a large dog fox when the second barrel of the gun thundered into the air and the beast tumbled to the ground dead. Ronald continued rolling, and as soon as his back made contact with the ground, he rolled sideways and backwards. Drawing his knees up, he was on his feet in seconds, as if the whole manoeuvre had been deliberate. Clint Eastwood would have been proud of the shot, and Lewis Smith would have been delighted with the gymnastics. Once Ronald was on his feet, he delivered his lecture on foxes. They were, he said, the foulest creatures that roamed the earth. The only good fox was a dead one. They were the serial killers of the animal kingdom. They would kill every hen in the shed and take only one to eat. Sure enough, the creature had killed all our hens. It had tunnelled its way in through the bottom of the hut and torn away the timbers. He then wreaked so much havoc on the inside that he had blocked his own escape route, hence his demise. The bastard got what he deserved.